You know, I went the first however many years I've been on this earth not realizing that there are a thing called assassination teams that operate inside the United States. Did you guys know that? Did you know that the U.S. government can actually just be like, yeah, we've got 5 independent assassination teams that are trying to put down the current leading candidate in the U.S. presidential, election. What? And you're like, really? Is that true? I mean, like, is there a reason why all of the people involved in that are not in prison or worse for them? Okay, so we're going to look at that story, and there's a lot to go over there because there's a lot of information about who these teams are, so on, so forth, etc. Okay, big story. But first, we're coming back to this story because this gentleman, as you guys may remember, Dr. J. Varma, who was the czar of all things take away your rights in New York City during the 2020 to 2023. I got something sent to me last night that is absolutely 100% confirmed about this guy that is going to absolutely blow your mind, okay? So if you guys didn't see this story from yesterday, this guy, Dr. J. Varma, got caught on a hidden camera admitting, and the circumstances of why he's admitting this are hilarious, that while everyone else was locked down and not allowed to go to work and being forced into doing all these things, he's like, listen, man, I really needed to blow off some steam. So me, my wife, and some other friends, we got together in a hotel against all of the guidelines that I had been implementing, and we took a bunch of things, like that made my eyes go like this, and then we all took off all our clothes, and then we all penetrated, and it was like bang, 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 bang. It's like, aren't you embarrassed? Wouldn't you have been embarrassed? No, not embarrassed. I just like to really be my authentic self and penetrate all my friends in front of my wife. So this guy's a freak. Okay, but he's also the chief medical officer for a very large medical company. And yesterday, when I started looking into, I wonder what this company does, what do you think? This guy's a chief medical officer, okay, and he was the chief czar of, taking away your rights during what. I wonder what they're into. Well, someone sent it to me yesterday, okay, last night, and I am going to share that with you. Also, I'm going to show you this video again, by the way, if you don't know what I'm talking about. This is the most embarrassing thing that could possibly happen to someone. And if you were a person who was not really down with having your job taken away or watching your friends have their lives destroyed, if you know any barbers or restaurant owners or any people like that literally had their lives destroyed by people just like this guy, you're going to get a lot of satisfaction out of watching this video. And also, Crowder confronted him. And now, so you have a whole other thing where this guy's trying to defend himself. It's hilarious. You're going to love it. But first, watch a sponsor, because this sponsor has chosen to be part of this video specifically. So you're going to love them, and it's going to be worth the wait. Check them out. So let me tell you about the sponsor of this video, HelloFresh. I know a lot of you guys are athletes or are just people who care about, looking good, feeling good. Spoiler, what you eat is basically the key determiner of how good you're going to look and how good you're going to feel. So I didn't agree to take this sponsor on until I tried their service. And let me tell you right now, these guys are amazing. So it's a subscription service and it's shipped to you once a week. There is an absolutely endless number of recipes that you can choose from. All of them are good. I'm going to get this Gouda stuffed pork meatloaf I'm looking at right now. That's a fact. I'm putting it on my list. With summer in the rear view and busy days ahead, we're all looking for wholesome meals that can save us time and money. HelloFresh has something for everyone. Each box is fully customizable to fit your preferences and includes pre-portioned ingredients, so you only pay for what you need. Now, they say breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and HelloFresh agrees. They're giving all subscribers free breakfast for life. That means you'll enjoy a totally free breakfast item with every single shipment from HelloFresh. And like I said, HelloFresh has more recipe options than ever before. You can dig into their biggest menu yet with 50 plus dinner options and even more market items that suit your healthy lifestyle. Now, you can help support a healthy lifestyle and my channel if you go to the link in the description and use my code listed in the description also, and get 10 free meals plus a free breakfast for life. One breakfast item per box while subscription is active. If you're in the US, outside the US, local discounts will apply. All right, so let's go through this video one more time, and then we're going to look into some more details about this gentleman right here, which are going to absolutely infuriate you. So this is what he got caught saying on camera during, one of these hidden cameras. And he got caught in a honeypot. That's what's so funny. Across the table from him is some smoke show girl that's dangling that box in front of him. They're like, oh, tell me all about these crazy parties that you were a part of, because, maybe you'll get to rub some baby oil on me just like Diddy. And he's like, blah, 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 because every single dude has the same weakness, and this guy is a moron. Watch this.
I actually was the one who convinced the mayor to make it a mandate.
Like, New York City found out that you were having sex parties during COVID?
Yeah. Yeah, it would have been real bad. We went to some underground dance party underneath a bank in Wall Street.
and we were all rolling, we were all taking Molly, and everybody's high, and I was so happy because I hadn't done that in like a year and a half, like a year or whatever. And but I was looking around being like, I wonder if he sees me differently, because this was not COVID friendly.
Look at and I just want to keep reiterating whenever we watch this. Like, I just want to keep making observations about this dude. Okay, number one, this dude is a speed freak. Okay, this guy is on a lot of things right now, or probably at all times. You know, or maybe he goes to work just like, hello guys, I would like to talk to you about this, this, and this. And then when he's going to go out with a girl that he thinks he's going to be able to take to a hotel and do whatever to, he's all, I got to load up. I really need to be talkative tonight. I need to be talkative. It's like, hey, you might want to have your head on a swivel just in case it's a plant that's going to honeypot you into completely destroying your credibility for life. He's all, no, I think it's more important that I've got my gift of gab so I can try to get in those panties. You're like, you are scum, sir. You are scum. Okay. Also, I want to just say this about guys like this. Do you want to know what you're looking at for real? You're looking at a guy who was an absolute stone nerd growing up, okay? This is a nerd. This is a person who does not have like the level of kind of like human intellect. And I'm talking, I said human intellect, probably great scientific intellect, but human intellect, okay? And then all of a sudden he's in this upper echelon because, you know, when you get a little older, the upper echelon in many ways is dictated by, you know, are you one of these people that figured out how to make money? And they're all, yeah, now we can look down our nose at all the plebes. And you're like, you're still just a fucking nerd though, dude. You do know that, right? Like, you're still a nerd. You could take all the MDMA you want. You can have whatever going on, but you're still a nerd, okay? You get that, right? At least in my world. Anyway, but let's continue.
To do this job for the city was if I had some way to blow off steam every now and then. You're kind of sneaky about it because hotels didn't want people gathering there. Because I was like running the entire corporate response of the city. My wife and I like had one with our friends, like in August of like that first summer. So we rented a hotel and it was fun. We all like took like, you know, Molly, and it was like 8 or 9 of us and then 8 to 10 of us in a room, and everybody had a blast because everybody was like so pent up because it had been like.
I missed that the first time, dude. This guy is hanging himself, and this smoke that's on the other side of on the table, who was just crushing it at her job. He's all, we just had a blast because we were all just like so pent up. And she's all, oh, I bet. And she's like, keep talking, you stupid ass. Go, oh yeah, I bet you were explosive that night, were you? He's like, oh yeah, you have no idea. She's like, I can't wait to find out. Just keep talking, dude, moron.
Yeah, and sometimes it isn't so much about like imagery, it's like some of it's just something about like bodies being close to each other, right? Just being like naked with friends.
Was that like when everything was locked down?
It was like the summer of 2020. So like walk around the streets.
Unbelievable. Okay, I just want to just keep reiterating this. The summer of 2020. Okay, summer of 2020. So we're talking. I think he said August of 2020, something like that. I don't even know if he, you know. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt, like the very end of the summer, right? Not that that's any better than that. But people like him, okay, so I was going to move out of California forever because of people like him. I think we moved in March of 2021, which would have made that Thanksgiving and that Christmas the last Thanksgiving and Christmases that I could spend with my family that's local there, which would have been my brother, his wife, my sister-in-law, their 3 kids, my nieces and nephews, okay? My dad, his wife, my mom, her dude, like my really, really, really tight family, okay? My mom and dad are still very, very close. Like, this is like, that's what I was going to do on Thanksgiving or Christmas. But this guy and his fucking cronies were like, it's not safe. Don't hang out. So guess what? We didn't get to see them on Thanksgiving or Christmas. But this piece of human trash was going to hotel rooms, and he's like, we're just so pent up. So yeah, I pounded out like 8 girls and guys, and then I, you know, yeah, that's what we were doing. But you definitely can't have Thanksgiving dinner with your family who's already had the virus. Yeah, no, you can't do that. That's why when I look at people like this, every single thing that happens to this guy because of this, I'm just gonna laugh in his face, dude.
Yeah,
Did you have like any mandates in place?
there wasn't any restrictions on gathering, like you could technically gather people. The hotels didn't want it as parties, but they weren't gonna.
Yeah, so there weren't any restrictions on like gatherings because obviously we needed to have the BLM riots. So like, of course, we had to be able to like, allow for riots in the streets that were, supportive of what we thought was going to lead to a lot of votes in our direction. So yeah, there weren't like mandates, but we would take your job if you didn't do the shot. That was a really good litmus test to know whether we're dealing with someone who's on our side or on the other side. If you're on the other side, we kind of want to take your job, kind of want to destroy your life. We're actually really hoping that you don't take it. That's the honest truth, is we want to destroy your lives. If you're not on our side, then, tough. Go live in a tent, dude. Go live in a tent. We'll find a way to blame it on the big guy anyway, so,
Yeah.
It's so funny. It's like, because I did all this, like, deviant, like, sexual stuff while I was, like on TV and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And people are like, aren't you afraid? Aren't you embarrassed? And I was like, no, actually, I'm, like, really, like I love being my authentic self. So the way
that is literally that part. I just go, hey, okay, remember how I said you're a nerd? Okay, anyone with any self-awareness would recognize, like, you do understand this girl knows you're trying to bang, right? I mean, you do understand this, okay? Nerd with no experience actually closing women. I've been married for 15 years. Gabrielle and I were together for 2 before that. So, like, I've been off the game for a long time. But prior to that, my friend, okay, I was a scalpel-using surgeon at closing girls. So you want to know what every single hot girl in the history of the world that you're out at dinner with, that you're talking about sex stuff with knows? They know you're trying to smash, okay? They know that. So that kind of line, like, and I'm like, no, I'm not afraid. I'm just like, I just love being my authentic self. She knows you're full of garbage, okay? Your answer should have been, yeah, I was terrified. Of course, dude, okay? Girls like confident authenticity, not weirdo, creepy, cracked out. Your teeth are missing for some reason in your front. How are you the chief medical officer with no teeth in the front? Okay. And people go, no, I wasn't afraid. I just like being my authentic self. Shut up, dude. The answer, if you're trying to smash, is authentic, which is, yeah, of course, dude. Can you imagine? I'm on television one week and I'm like, listen, guys, you really need to sit down. We really need you to take the second booster. It's very important that we get everybody, shot so that we can do whatever. And then they find out that I'm like, in some hotel just pulverizing 4 girls in front of my wife. Like, yeah, that would have been a pretty serious problem. Then she's like, ooh, Something about the way he answered that question made me want to get naked, except not in this case because I'm only here to honeypot this dimwit nerd.
We do it in public health is we make it very uncomfortable to be unvaccinated. I don't expect the education to change your behavior. I'm just going to make it really hard for you to do your job. You can't get a job. You can't go to a restaurant. You can't go to school. It's like, okay, I'm just going to get vaccinated.
So was it technically like kind of forcing you?
Yeah, that's what you do. You force people by making it really uncomfortable.
Good for you, guy. Good for you. Now, I promised you guys a big development, okay? So first, I forgot. Let me pull this up. So Sega Technologies, okay? So this is the company where he is the guy, right? So there's somewhere on here that says team, whatever. Take my word for it, okay? Obviously, I'm not lying. This guy, Sega Technologies, this is where this guy is he's the chief medical officer, okay? So check this out, you guys. Who would have thought? Oh my God, Sega Technologies trial results benefit monkeypox treatment despite not meeting primary endpoint. Wait a minute. Are you saying that the Mpox, by the way, Mpox, not monkey anymore. Are you saying that guy who is in charge with the response to the thing is also researching things that have to do with Mpox? Who could have possibly guessed, you guys? It's almost like it's a big cabal. And it's like they get these guys hooked on like, ooh, yeah, give me one. Hey, I feel like I need something new. They're all, how about one that's young? He's like, how young we talking? They're all not like a kid or anything, but, let's just say like new. Like a girl that's like new. Yeah, I think I like that. Yeah, I think you do. Because if you can get honeypotted by a girl like that, then I think you can probably get honeypotted by anyone. And we, as much as you think of yourself as good at science, I am literally the foremost authority on trapping dimwits like you into compromising information that you can never say no to me about ever again. So yeah, here, hey, she's new. How you like her? They dress her up to look 19 when she's 15. He smashes on video, dunzo. Good night. Thanks for playing, Dr. J. You now do whatever we say for life, you know, hypothetically. Hypothetically is what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying that he for sure did that, but let's listen to him talk about it, right? Like, because this is the same guy.
My name is Jay Varma. I'm the Chief Medical Officer at SIGA Technologies, where we will develop drugs for unmet need for...
Seems a lot calmer in this video, huh? It seems like his eyes aren't quite as wide open in this one. I wonder what's different.
Severe infectious diseases.
Okay, so we're going to get right into the Palm 007 study. What specific factors
Jesus,
in the study?
that girl right there could just be the honeypot. She's all, can you tell me about any kind of deviancy that you've been involved with? Like in the heart of the time where you were definitely not even supposed to be like eating at the same table as a person, but you were slathering yogurt and all other kinds of weird stuff all over other freaks like you. He's all, what? She's like, could you tell me about that? He's all, not here. We're on camera. She's like, all right, we'll do it later. You'll be on camera anyway, you stupid fuck. Anyway, so now also, check this out, right? Oh, by the way, this is not even, I don't even know how this is even like an expose, but he also donated to, he's a big donor in Kamala's campaign. Hilarious. So here you go. Crowder confronts this freak, and let's see how that went for him real quick.
On me?
Yeah, but it is about you as a government official being the architect of the policy.
So those things are
having sex parties and having dance parties while businesses are being shut down. And New York sees an unemployment that's twice the national average as a result of policy.
My wife and I had a party with like 10 people who everybody got vaccinated. Not vaccinated, everybody got tested and things like that.
There was over 12 people when the gatherings at that point.
I'm sorry, I completely forgot that this guy's response to getting exposed was that it was an ultra right-wing guy, and the video was very, very selectively edited and lacked context. You're all lacked context, huh? I'm pretty sure I heard you say we were all high on, on Molly, and then, it's not so much about penetrative, it's more about like, it's just about like naked bodies being next to each other. Hey, were you been embarrassed that this was happening while you were implementing all these things? No, because I really like being my authentic self. You mean like you're being your authentic self right now, high on 85 different stimulants? He's all, what? That's not your authentic self, dude. That's being high on drugs. That's what that is, guy. But welcome back,
You had to do in secret because no one else could gather 10 or more. If you could do it all over again, would you do it the same way? Or would you allow people their freedoms and not harm New York City like you did?
Today, I introduce you to Dr. Jay Varma, the man widely touted as the COVID architect in charge of New York that hasn't been answered.
When I do meet anyone in healthcare, I'm like, okay, I already know that you're like way
But
smarter
that's
than
always the
me.
thing, like you get attracted and you like are interested in people who have skills that you don't have, right?
Yeah.
Like when I meet people who are like artistic and stuff, I'm always like, what do you do? Because I can't draw or...
Well, I would be scarier if you said he's in healthcare, he's really dumb.
Yeah, I know, right?
Last words for anesthesiology.
I'm so sorry, my boss is calling me. I have to say, I will be right back. Sorry, you two get to know.
Wait a minute, dude. Are you telling me that Steven Crowder was the one who trapped this guy?
For a second.
There was a period during which there were no restrictions, no mandatory restrictions in New York, and I know this, I was always on the ball. There were no mandatory restrictions, and there was widespread COVID. And what happened? The entire city shut down because no cafe had a worker.
But my point is when there were shutdowns and restrictions, it seems like rules for thee, not for me, if you're having sex parties with people in hotels.
I think the idea with all of that was basically, again,
If you're having sex parties and dance parties with 200
Oh my God. So this happened before they exposed him. So this is 8/27/24. Oh my God. So he doesn't even know who Steven Crowder is. This is amazing, dude.
while people there get punished if there are 10 or more at a gathering, or more than 40, and you have a dance party of 500 people. That seems like, my question is, you obviously doing that.
Isn't that true with everything though in life?
No, not everyone's having sex parties when they encourage lockdowns for other people.
No, but there's a million rules.
If you weren't afraid of it, why those policies? My point. If you're afraid of it, you wouldn't be having sex parties, and you wouldn't be
Excellent
having
question,
dance
Steven
parties with
Crowder.
people when everyone else is locked down.
No, because I'm saying that it's not.
And not checking for vaccinations.
It's not individual.
Right?
No, those are
You know
totally different issues. I mean, I think
You know what I'm talking about.
What I'm trying to get at is the main issue is it's not about individual level risk. It's the same thing as driving.
Honestly, I'm going to have to do an entire new thing on this. So I'm going to leave you guys here, and we're going to move over to the story on this side, which is the multiple assassination teams that are coming for Trump. All right, so exclusive. Rep. Matt Gaetz claims that there are 5 known assassination teams in the U.S., okay? So you know what, dude? I am gonna call an audible here. We're gonna have we're gonna do the Tim Pool video just because this is more interesting than me reading an article. So this is Timcast covered this. We're gonna watch some of it and react to it.
5 assassination teams targeting President Trump per a DHS source on American soil. I've not yet reviewed this video. I want to give a shout out to Token Black Guy, our super chatter on Timcast who made me aware of this. We'll play this video clip for you now of Representative Matt Gaetz.
And I'll break a little news for you. I had a senior official from the Department of Homeland Security in my office before the second assassination attempt saying that what he has assessed is that there are 5 known assassination teams in the United States, 3 inspired by other governments, 2 that are here that are known domestic assassination teams. And with that, this individual was coming to me concerned that the force protection around President Trump, even prior to that second assassination attempt, was not sufficient for what it needed to be. And the coordination at that level, at the dignitary protection level, is like the bare minimum that we have to do to keep our presidents, our presidential candidates safe while they're on the trail.
So there are 5, I just want to follow up, 5 assassination teams. Are they all targeting Trump? Is it other officials?
Yes. No, wow. I should have been clear about that. 5 teams that we know are targeting Trump. And so
why are they not in jail? Okay. Why are they not in jail? Hey, Jesse, why don't you point out the most obvious thing in human history? I know. But like, what are we talking about? Why are they not in jail? I don't understand. Like, if we know that and we have them, I mean, we're monitoring literally every single thing, right? The surveillance state is monitoring everything. So if we know for sure there are 5 teams that are targeting, okay, like what are we doing? I mean, I know what I think we're probably doing, but like, what's the answer when you have senators or Congress people that are like, hey guys, we have 5 independent teams targeting, like, what are we doing?
That raises real questions about why certain teams were being pulled off of the Trump detail and put on, for example, the Jill Biden detail. Now, we don't want anything bad to happen to Jill Biden, but at the same time, the threat envelope for her was substantially different than the threat envelope around President Trump.
You think?
And it would not have necessitated pulling assets away from the Trump detail for the Jill Biden detail or the John Bolton detail.
No one has ever had a more real threat to their life that is not from a person that is straight up in their life, you know, like a spouse or a business partner or whatever. You know, like obviously there are people where they are completely oblivious to the fact that like someone is plotting to put them down, or somebody in organized crime or whatever. But like a public figure where they are being targeted by people who do not know them personally and have no like, well, actually I take that back. I was going to say don't have any business, you know, or I don't know, don't have some kind of incentive to put them down. Like there's a lot of psychos out there, but then, you know, I think the people who are halfway running the psychos definitely have a very big business incentive to have him put down.
Or any other details that were beefed up. At the same time, the requests from the Trump detail and from the Trump campaign for more security were going unanswered. And
yeah, they're saying that oh, Trump's not the president, so he's not going to get this level of security.
Ludicrous. Okay, Secret Service exists to keep these guys alive and girls alive. Well, if you know, like, if you've got someone who's like, if you got Jimmy Carter walking around. You know, they're like, well, yeah, he gets a Secret Service detail for life. You're like, right. I mean, you could put some, and he's like, hey, we need more resources. They're all, why? They're all, because, like, I don't know, you know, Jimmy Carter, everyone wants him dead. You're all, no, they don't, you know, no, they don't. Like, come on, guy. No, they don't. Right? Trump, it's like, yeah, like you, per your own words, there are 5 teams that are trying to, like, why would you not have one of the most, like, you can have the current president, and then he should be having equivalent or at least, equivalent protection if they know that there's someone trying to whack him out.
With what Matt Gaetz is saying right now, that they know he is being targeted by at least 5 teams, I have to wonder for what reason then would they deny him extra security?
Well, Biden kind of passed it off on Congress, right? The day after, he said, I'm glad, President Trump is safe and secure, and Secret Service should get more resources. And he's basically saying that's something that Congress has to authorize more funding to do. I mean, so often it seems like when the federal or when the executive branch could step in and do something, they're like, but those crazy Republicans in the legislative branch, like, there's nothing we can do. They're ruining our lives. It's I think, a level of irresponsibility. They don't want to be accountable for the situations they're creating.
Yeah, this is the most likely conspiracy that I can see is just this, that they are not doing everything that they could be doing and should be doing to protect Trump because they don't actually care if he lives. And that, there's different, we talk about conspiracies, there's different levels of, the highest level would be there's actually in the government, they're conspiring to take him out. There's that. But then there's several degrees down, and somewhere you end up in a situation where where they say, well, why do we, we don't want to keep him alive, so we're not going to make the effort to do it.
Yeah, it's sort of
that. But I also think that it is a almost near certainty that there are very powerful entities that are planning to put him down. I mean, at this point, come on. You know what I mean? Like, come on, dude. I don't know what Tim's going to say here, but I would imagine that. Anyway, let me hear what he says here.
Sit back, wait, and eventually something bad happens if no one's paying attention. When the first attack happened, I asked 3 questions.
This is exactly what I was going to say.
Does Trump derangement syndrome exist?
Nope, not this.
Obviously, the answer is yes. Are there Democrats who would prefer it if Trump were to have lost his life? The answer to that is yes. We actually had polling come out. I think it was YouGov. Maybe it wasn't YouGov, but there was a poll came out that said 28% of Democrats said yes to this. That
28% of Democrats said yes openly, that they wish that the attempt had been successful. Is that true? Is that true? Hold on. Let's look at this together, you guys. Poll Democrats wish Trump had been. Oh my God, dude. A third of Democratic voters I surveyed in a Snap poll on July 18th openly agreed with the statement, I wish Trump's assassin hadn't missed. Looking beneath the numbers, the new moral absolutism of the progressive left picks out which Democrats support assassination and which do not. The concerning news that a third of Democrats support the attempt on... good news is the other 2/3 of the party really do disagree. I used a concealed technique called a list experiment, which found that even when they could disguise their true sentiment, a solid 7 in 10 Democrats were pleased the assassin missed. This is exactly what I'm talking about, dude. It's really important to note this, that like when you hear someone like, and I'm talking to all the people who support this guy, right? Because listen, if we live in a world where anyone who supports this guy thinks that like we have all the answers and like we completely understand it, anyone who's not on our side is a crazy person that blah, blah, blah. It's like, no. Then we're no better than them, man. Okay. And I'm talking about the extremists because that's just not true. If you have 70% of people over there are glad that he missed. Now, what does that mean? They're not voting for him, but they are common sense people who love the country. You can't love the country and then simultaneously say that you wish that he would have gotten killed. I'm sorry. Those two things cannot exist at the same time. If you really believe you love the country and you also wish he would have gotten hit, then you are very confused. I could think of someone whose show I was on recently that I would absolutely guarantee if you strapped him to a chair, did a lie detector, that is exactly that's the camp he would fall into. He would he'd lie detector, tell the truth. Yes, I love America. And then if you were like, do you wish that he would have gotten killed? And if he said no, it would spike huge. And you'd be like, you don't actually love the country. You don't even know what America is, dude. You can't say that and say you love America. You know what? I'm actually just going to stop this video right now because that is, I mean, I am grateful that 70% said no. I am very disturbed that 30% said yes. That's a lot. That's a lot, dude. Anyway, that's what we got for today. Dr. J, I'm so happy about Dr. J. Oh, I'm so sorry, guy. Explain yourself to everyone now. I'm sure his wife is, oh my God, can you imagine how mortified his wife is, dude? You're a hooah. All right, love you guys. Bye.